Hi, everybody. Are you seeing me? I am trying to figure out whether I am doing this properly. No, it is not Hannah Mary McKinnon. It's Hank Phillippi Ryan. And I'm here today live with you for first chapter fun. And you have to forgive me a little bit because I'm setting up this to make sure it's correct. This is my first time and you're here with me. Can you believe it? I know this is where you expect to have Hannah Mary McKinnon and first chapter fun. And today Hannah has, as she told you yesterday, a place she has to be this morning. And she asked me if I would read in for her, as in stand in for her. Nobody can stand in or read in for Hannah Mary McKinnon. You know that's true. But I'm going to do the best that I can. This is where every day. Hi, Sharon. I'm so excited about this too. I'm on Facebook up here and Instagram down here and trying to do my best to, hey, Jodina, I see Glennie on Facebook. This is so great. It's so nice. It's so bizarre to be on this side of the camera, I have to tell you. But it's really fun. I'm here in Boston where it's crazily cold. It's really unbelievably cold. But this is the place every day for the past 51 days, if you can imagine, where you've seen Hannah Mary McKinnon and heard her read in that fabulous Plummy accent, a first chapter of a wonderful new book. Hey, Jen, hey, Jill, it's so nice to see you all. Now, if I do that, what happens? Oh, I see, you see what I mean? I'm using my mouse to try to move my Instagram. That is not gonna work. So hi, Jill, or we read your book yesterday, was it? So anyway, this is the 52nd episode of First Chapter Fun, which is so astonishing to hear about. Can you believe that Hannah Mary McKinnon has been here for 51 days in a row, like clockwork, reading us all a wonderful first chapter of a wonderful new book. Now, just like Hannah Mary McKinnon, I am just sitting in for her today. This book that we're hearing today, which is Kate Moretti's wonderful In Her Bones. Can you see this? I'm putting this on Instagram. Isn't this fun doing it with a newbie now? It's just like it's never been done before. Can you see this, you all? I'm working on this. You're going to be saying to yourself, Hank has no idea what she's doing, and you are so right about that. In Her Bones, Katie Moretti. Kate, so thank you for letting me try my skills out on you. But this is the book we're reading, courtesy of the wonderful Atria Publishing, Kate Moretti's fabulously intense thriller, In Her Bones, which you are not seeing at all. Okay, gotcha. Is this good or what? And we will all have the absolute glory and joy and hilarity of seeing this video posted on Instagram and on IGTV and on Facebook on Hannah Mary McKinnon's First Chapter Fun page. So we can all have the joy of watching this again. My stand-in performance, just like Mr. Ziegfeld used to say, do you know the lines? And I'm like, no, I don't know the lines. It seems so nice and fun when Hannah does it. But hey, good morning, Nancy. Hi, Allie. Hi, Jodina. Hi, Samantha. You're here. And Marjorie and Kate. Yeah, it's snowing in Toronto, Samantha says. That's it's crazy. The weather's crazy, but I mean, so what else is new? Carla, so nice to see you, such a dear pal. Thank you so much all for being here. Yes, it is Audio Shelf Me. What a great book this is. So let's hear a little bit more about Kate Moretti and about her wonderful book. Let me read you a little bit about Kate. Now, she's a pal. Kate's a pal. And thank goodness for that, right? Or she'd be probably going crazy now with the newbie Hank doing First Chapter Fun this morning. So Kate Moretti is the New York Times bestselling author of 6 novels and a novella, including Thought I Knew You, While You Were Gone, Binds That Tie, The Vanishing Year, The Blackbird Season, and In Her Bones. And that's what we're going to be reading from today, In Her Bones. Her first novel, Thought I Knew You, was a New York Times bestseller. yikes, a first novel as a New York Times bestseller. That's amazing. The Vanishing Year was a nominee in the Goodreads Choice Awards Mystery Thriller category for 2016. Love Goodreads and hope you're on it. And was called Chillingly Satisfying by Publishers Weekly and Superb Closing Twists by the New York Times Book Review. So it doesn't get any better than that, does it? Her next novel, The Girls of Brackenhill, and I just happen to have a cover of that here. Maybe I do, maybe I do. Oh, maybe we'll look at that later. Yeah, it was set up so nicely before I started. We'll show you The Girls of Brackenhill, which is this gorgeously gothic-looking purpley cover of Girls of Brackenhill. We'll show you that in a minute. Kate has worked in the pharmaceutical industry for 20 years as a scientist and enjoys traveling and cooking. She lives in Pennsylvania in an old farmhouse with her husband and her 2 kids and no known ghosts. None that have revealed themselves to her, at least yet. Her lifelong dream is to find a secret passageway, and that would be that'd be fun. Sometimes I think about that in our house as well. Our house was built in 1894. Good morning, Carmen. Our house was built in 1894, and I sometimes wonder if there are places that I haven't explored yet. So maybe now that we're all inside for the duration, I'll have some time to see what's really behind that little place in the basement that I've never quite opened the door. Hey, Katie. Yeah, I'm so glad you're here this morning. You are such a good sport about this. So anyway, let me tell you a little bit about In Her Bones, which is out now, by the way. And if you get it on ebook, you'll be able to actually see the cover better than you can here in my study in Boston. So let me tell you a little bit about, let me read the back cover copy of In Her Bones, just to tempt you a little bit. 15 years ago, Lilith Wade was arrested for the brutal murder of 6 women. After a death row conviction, media frenzy, and the release of an unauthorized biography, her 30-year-old daughter, Edie Beckett, is just trying to survive out of the spotlight. She's a recovering alcoholic with a dead-end city job and an unhealthy codependent relationship with her brother. Edie also has a disturbing secret, a growing obsession with the families of Lilith's victims. The families of Lilith's victims. She's desperate to see how they've changed or managed or failed to move on. While their escalating fixation is a problem, she's careful to keep her distance. That is, until she crosses a line and a man is found murdered. Edie quickly becomes the prime suspect, and while she can't remember everything that happened the night of the murder, she'd surely remember killing someone. While with the detective who arrested her mother hot on her trail, Edie goes into hiding. She must get to the truth of what happened that night before the police or the real killer find her. Unless, of course, she has more in common with her mother than she's willing to admit. How does Katie think of these? How does Katie think of these stories? That is such a good idea. Kaylee, yeah, I know this book sounds really fantastic. And I agree, Tracy. Love Katie Moretti's books. And Katie Moretti, she's adorable. I should have said, she is marvelous. She's a tall poppy. If you haven't been to the Tall Poppy Writers page, please find Bloom with Tall Poppies. Katie's there. I'm there. So many pals are there. And she is a dear friend and a terrific sport about this, not to mention an incredibly talented writer. So I'm here on Instagram and here on Facebook, and I'm just learning how to do this. So put up with me, okay? And we'll see how this goes. Because hi, Carly. Yes, that was pretty amazing. So forgive me, and the light is changing, but this is such a good book, and I want to do her proud. So here is a little bit, chapter 1, of In Her Bones by Kate Moretti. Chapter 1, Tuesday, August 2nd, 2016. Your life is more open than you think. You think you're safe. You have neighborhood watches and room darkening drapes, password protected computers, alarm systems, and garage codes that are absolutely not your firstborn's birthday. even with all that, it's practically there for the taking. Anyone can find out anything about you. And sometimes, if they ask the right way, you'll just tell them. People are too trusting, naive. Even with the news blinking tragedy and fear in a nonstop cycle, we still trust. Well, you do. I don't. I'm a good person, although on paper it might be difficult to convince anyone. I don't seem like a good person. I'll tell you that I only ever use what I uncover to help. Have I taken things too far? Sometimes. Am I sorry? Almost never. In the darkest parts of the night where the truth is laid bare, I'd like to tell you that I have regrets. I have some. Everyone does. But not about the watching. Alone with my thoughts, the only question I turn over and over is, am I like her? I pull the hair off my neck. It's hot already and only 7 a.m., but that's Philadelphia in August. The air itself sweats. I head north on York Street where I'll pick up the L. I do feel a weird bubbling in my chest on Monday mornings. Not so much because I love my job, but because I love the stability of it. I enjoy being able to go somewhere at a particular time each day and be useful, industrious. I like sitting in my cube, tapping at my computer or hitting send or file on the latest report. I like answering emails, checking off things on my list. I like being told I'm efficient. I am efficient in every aspect of my life. I'm lucky to have a city job, a clerk, technically an interviewer. It's a government job I don't deserve, with good pay and decent benefits. I sit on the phone with criminals for hours at a stretch, obtaining bits and pieces of boring information that the police can't waste their time collecting. Addresses, aliases, social security numbers, basic information for public defenders. The other half of my day involves writing reports and processing court fees and parking tickets. Sometimes I see Brandt on my commute. Gil Brandt, the detective who arrested Lilith. The man who gave me a second, third, and fourth chance. It's complicated, but probably not in the way you think. Or maybe exactly in the way you'd think. Today, there's no Brandt, just the orange stacked seats of SEPTA, the blank jury faces on a Monday morning, the vaguely warm odor like the inside of a public dryer, a little wet, a little musty. The man next to me huddles into the window, a paperback folded into his hands, his cracked lips moving to the words, even as his eyes dart up and out the window, down the metal floor, gummed with black. The seats are full. The aisles are crowded, but not packed, the faint fug of an armpit over my shoulder. I've taken the L every day for 5 years, early morning, late nights, the train punctuating the days and giving me a structure and definition that keeps me forward-looking, which hasn't always been my strong suit. 2 rows above, a blonde turns, her hair falling into her eyes, her fingers scraping the metal pole by her seat, and her eyes resting on me, only for a second, but long enough to feel their zing. Lindy Cook. She couldn't have been more than 20. Her mother, taken by Lilith's rage when she was a child, maybe even a toddler. Lindy, so small when she lost her mother, a toddling, swollen towhead with a red sucker and pink ringing mouth in all the court pictures, was now a lithe, lanky dancer and a present apprentice at the Pennsylvania Ballet. That was all I knew. I searched my brain, my memory for something, any detail about her life, and come up blank. And now she was here. Here. My train. Why? She'd never been on this train before, and I took the L every day. The brakes squealed at 13th Street, the forward momentum pushing me into the pole in front of me, sending the arm over my shoulder bumping into my head. I stand, and Lindy stands, and across the train we make eye contact again, her face blank as a stone. My heart thunders, my ears so filled with it that I barely hear the loudspeaker garbling nonsense. We head for the same door, and I hang back, watching her step onto the platform. She tosses her hair, and I catch the smell of damp jasmine. She keeps her head low, only to look back just once, was it nervously, at me. Up at street level, she heads north on 13th Street, my direction, and I wonder once, crazily, if she's coming to work with me. If she's looking for me, if she's found out about me, who I am and what I do, some kind of sideways revenge scheme for taking her mother, which of course, no more sideways than what I do to them. I follow her for 2 blocks I would be walking anyway, but I stay a good 5 people behind her and the bobbing heads of bankers and jurors, lawyers and judges, bopping headphone dudes appearing in court to fight parking tickets, clerks at Macy's, and cubicle swampers from the Comcast building. Lindy's head isn't hard to follow, the blonde shining like the sun against the gray. She passes my building and I nearly jump out of my skin thinking she's going to turn left onto Filbert and I'll be forced to follow behind her, wanded through by security. But she passes right by, picking up speed, her long legs moving her faster than I can keep up. She stops at an intersection, picks up a paper and a hot styrofoam cup at a street vendor, offering him a smiling hello and a laugh, the kind of exchange that evolved organically after an established routine. She darts across Broad Street, 6 lanes of traffic, and disappears into the Pennsylvania Ballet studio building. Before pushing through the revolving door, she glances back at me once with a questioning look, her head cocked to the side. I stand on the street, frozen, watching her recognize me as the girl on the train. And now, oddly, the girl who followed her here, followed her to the place where she thought she was safe. It's so creepy to think about somebody following you somewhere. That is so, you can just feel that, you can see that, and you've had that feeling of somebody following you. And according to this book, maybe according to In Her Bones by Kate Moretti, that's what we were just reading from. Oh, I can't figure this out. This is backwards and upside down, and I'm left-handed, and it doesn't really make any sense. And you think after all these years in television, I'd know how to work a camera, but no, there you have it. Kate Moretti, In Her Bones. Yeah, Hannah knows how to do this. I'll figure this out. Anyway, that's what we just read for, In Her Bones by Kate Moretti, which is so incredible. So intense, so chilling, looking over your shoulder at every minute. So you were here I love seeing you all here, Jen and Sharon and Ali and Carla and Carmen. Wonderful to see you here. And Jill Montgomery, so nice to see you. It's really been great to be here. And I can't tell you how nervous I was. So thank you so much for putting up with me. Any suggestions, let me know if I ever have to get to stand in again, how I look and how the framing is. I'd love to have feedback from you. These will be posted on Hannah's IGTV and on her author page on Facebook. So you can always watch these again. And all the 51 other segments of First Chapter Fun are also there for your hearing and reading enjoyment. It's just like having a little gorgeous audiobook sampler. Now, tomorrow, I know I've had the chills too, Nancy. It's great. Tomorrow, you'll be here. I know Hannah has told us all there's something big happening tomorrow. So that is great. So I know you're going to want to be here at 11:30. And one of the things that Hannah says every day is that she says, here's where I read the first chapter of a book, not my own. And that's, but I wonder if that'll change tomorrow, because tomorrow we'll be hearing the first chapter of The Precious. We'll be hearing the first chapter of Sister Dear, which is easier to hold up than an ebook, but there you go. Take my picture now because I got it. We'll be hearing the first chapter of Hannah Mary McKinnon's Sister Dear. And I know we've all been waiting to hear it. And I can confess to you that I have read this book and it is awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, Jodina says she's reading the Girls of Brackenhill right now. Fabulous, and I know you'll love In Her Bones as well. Tomorrow, Hannah Mary McKinnon's Sister Dear, plus a whole lot of fun stuff that you probably don't want to miss. Plus, we need to figure out what to do for Hannah's birthday on Sunday, right? We should do something. She has been giving us the gift of first chapters for 51 days now, absolutely without fail. And we should figure out some fabulous thing to do with her for her birthday. She'll never hear that I said this right. So tomorrow we will hear from Hannah Mary McKinnon's Sister Dear. As always for Kate Moretti, if you loved In Her Bones, and I'm going to see if I can get the cover of the girls. I'm going to do it like Girls of Brackenhill. I got it. There you go. I told you it was purple and gothic and fabulous. It's not as glary in real life as it is here, but there it is. Anyway, so Girls of Brackenhill, so fabulous, coming out from Kate Moretti. In Her Bones, out right this very second. Coming up tomorrow, Sister Dear by Hannah Mary McKinnon, with some fabulous happy birthday to Hannah stuff. Maybe there'll be giveaways. Who knows what they'll be. So be here tomorrow at 11:30 to hear a super duper first chapter. My mom used to say that. Happy Mother's Day. Of Sister Dear. Thank you so much to Kate Moretti and Atria for letting us read from In Her Bones, which is awesome. Don't forget, this will be posted on Facebook and Instagram. I forgot to say that if Facebook and Instagram boot me out, we'll start over. But yay, thank you, darling devices, for putting up with the novice here and not kicking us out. So as always, these will be posted on Hannah's IGTV and on her author page, and you can go back and read them. It is Thursday. I think all the days are running together. We'll see you tomorrow on Friday at 11:30 for another special edition of First Chapter Fun. And I love seeing you all here today. It's so rewarding to have you all here. Now we'll see if I can figure out how to save these videos. That's the next step of what I have to do. So let's all say it together now, as we have for so many days. Stay safe, stay kind, and we'll see you here tomorrow. Love you so much, and thanks for putting up with me.
Okay.